And this is the Left Hook Boxing Show, and we're here today to talk about the fight on November the 14th at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada, between Manny Pacquiao and Miguel Cotto. The fight to be at a catch weight of 145 pounds. And with regard to this fight, I don't want to talk about anything but two things. I'm not going to talk about techniques or technical proficiencies or catch weights about these fighters. I want to talk about the confidence level of the fighters going into the fight, and I want to talk about the trainers of the fighters in this fight, and then I want to give my prediction on who I think is going to win this fight. First of all, let's start with Miguel Cotto. Now, Miguel Cotto, fresh off his split decision victory with Joshua Clottey, in my opinion, is a very courageous fighter. He fought with a big gash over his eye in this fight, and he pulled out the victory. It was a disputed victory. A lot of people thought that Clottey won, and of course it was a split decision. But he still won, and he fought when a lot of people would not have fought. And, you know, you just think about that. If you would have been in the situation out in the street somewhere and you had a cut like that, I mean, you'd be, whoa, hold on, call 911, don't move, don't move, don't move, that's awful, get an ambulance. But this guy is fighting through this. And yeah, he was moving towards the end, he was kind of running away, but he was still being effective, doing what he needed to do to win that fight. And I thought it was an extremely courageous effort on his part when he fought that fight. However, although I feel he's very courageous at this point, I think his confidence level, Miguel Cotto's confidence level, is not where it needs to be going into a fight with Manny Pacquiao. You know, they had an interview with Teddy Atlas on, and they were talking about this fight between Pac-Man and Cotto, and Atlas just thinks that Cotto is damaged goods, so to speak, that his confidence level is not where it needs to be. He thinks he sees images of Margarito coming at him in the late rounds of the fight. And Clottey, he felt, and I feel the same way, he lost a split decision. You can debate it all you want, but Cotto still won it. But he feels like Clottey didn't take the bull by the horns and go after Cotto the way he needed to do. He wasn't busy enough to win that fight, and if he would have been, he would have broke Cotto down and won that fight. So the confidence level of Cotto, I just do not feel that he is a confident fighter at this point. And when you go in with Manny Pacquiao, you've got to believe that you can beat him, and I don't think Cotto does at this point. Now, the other thing is on the trainer. Now, Miguel Cotto's trainer is now Joe Santiago. His first fight training was against Clottey. And there's no doubt, I don't feel, that Santiago is an important part of Cotto's team. He was a nutritionist. I feel that he is a good confidant, and I think this guy has an amateur background, so he knows something about boxing, no doubt. But when you're going in to fight somebody like Manny Pacquiao, you've got to have a trainer, not just that trains you in technique and make sure you reach the right weight, but you've got to have somebody that can look at a film and see the tendencies of a fighter, the weaknesses of the opponent, and be able to develop a game plan that will enable your fighter to win. And there was just this telling moment from that fight with Clottey. I believe it was the 11th round, and they shot to Cotto's corner. And this is all through an interpreter. You don't know exactly what was said because, like I say, it was just what the interpreter said. But when Cotto was sitting down around about to go out for the 11th round, all you heard the interpreter saying was somebody, and I believe it was Santiago, was saying, "Come on, Stallion, come on now, you're a stallion, you can win this fight." And hey, we all need encouragement, that's good. But when he got up to fight, and he was fighting in that 11th round, Emmanuel Stewart was making the comment that, hey, Clottey has a very tight defense, but when he comes in to attack Cotto, he is open for a counterpunch with a left hook. And he was saying that over and over, and when Cotto finally did it, hit Clottey with that left hook, Emmanuel Stewart kind of forgot he was an announcer for a moment. He goes, "Hey, there you go." He was just, And what I'm trying to say is somebody like an Emmanuel Stewart, a Freddie Roach, they watch a fight and they see things me and you don't see. And I think somebody like Santiago, although an important aspect, I don't think he is at the point as a trainer to see the things that these great trainers see. And I feel like that will be an impairment for him in this fight. So, now, like I said, I want to talk about two things, and I want to talk about the same thing with Manny Pacquiao. Now, Manny Pacquiao, I think he is at an all-time confidence level. This dude is a confident fighter. He does not believe that he can lose. I just believe that. He refuses to lose. I believe he has the mojo of Michael Jordan himself, the great basketball player, and that's who I compare. I think they're cut out of the same mold, man. Michael Jordan, Manny Pacquiao, and I was watching YouTube, you just gotta love it. I was watching the 1998 NBA Finals between the Utah Jazz and the Chicago Bulls, and Michael Jordan, after that game, retired for a second time. He later came back and played for the Wizards, but in this game, in this series, the series was tied 2-2 going into Game 5, and it was in Utah. Michael Jordan came out, and he'd been in bed all day. He had the flu. Came out, scored 38 points. His team at one point during that game was down 16 points. But he refused to lose, and the effort there was tremendous. He just would not allow his will to win to be dominated, and that's the way the Pac-Man is. And then in Game 6, and in this, I remember this game very well because I was rooting for the Jazz, and it was a very competitive series, despite the Bulls winning it in 6. And it's Game 6. John Stockton hits this 3 with like 36 seconds left in the game to put the Jazz up by 3 points. And then immediately after that, I'm thinking, yeah, the Jazz is going to go to Game 7. Whoa! And then immediately after that, Jordan gets the ball, runs in, does a layup, and they're down by 1. And then the Jazz get the ball. The same thing. Stockman to Malone. Pass it. Malone's dribbling. Dennis Rodman's guarding Malone. And Michael Jordan comes from behind, steals the ball with 16 seconds. There's no timeout. Most people are, timeout. Whoa, let's regroup. No. Jordan gets the ball, dribbles down, and you've seen the shot if you're a basketball fan. Dribbles down, top of the key, jumper, nothing but net. And the Bulls walk out with a victory in 6 games, and I'm just like shaking my head. Man, what? This guy, man. And I love Jordan. I always root against him usually, but damn, what a great player. And Pac-Man is at that level right now, man. Refuse to lose. Great confidence, great skills. And then the other thing is the trainer, man. Freddie Roach. Man, this is like the dynamic duo, Batman and Robin. Freddie Roach. And there's a great special on him with HBO right now with Brian Gumbel. I hope you see that. It's going to air several times. But Freddie Roach is a fight trainer who he gets his fighters ready to fight, no doubt with skill level. You know, the basic skills, basic defenses, and all that stuff. But he game plans, just like football defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators look at film of their opponents and see what their tendencies are. This is the way that Roach does it, and he sees things that me and you don't see. You know, he has a keen eye to see, and you saw it in that Hatton fight. I mean, he knew that it was going to go 3 rounds, or he said, I think, two or three rounds, and it went that quick. This guy knows what he's talking about, and he will have a game plan for Cotto. I see this as being a good fight, a competitive fight, but I see Pac-Man just winning very clear cut. I think it's going to be a TKO. I think it's going to go similar to the De La Hoya fight, where somebody says enough is enough around round 9, and I think Pacquiao is going to take it, and you're going to see the legend grow even further. And then I hope we see a fight against Mosley. Now, Mosley is also a guy that's got that confidence level. And I think that is the fight, man. That is the fight we want to see after this. But I see it. Pac-Man winning TKO in 9 rounds. That's the way I see it. For now, this is Renegade. I'm out.